Well, there's nothing cuter than a quokka, and there's nothing more exciting on the television than Bret Michaels finding love with some of the most 2007 and before ladies you've ever heard of in your entire life. This is a Patreon exclusive Uncle, running down season 1, episode 1 of Rock of Love. I'm not just me, though. Of course, I am always joined by the littlest uncle. He's only the size of a little guy that can hide on a glass that moves around your cupboard. His name's Uncle Franklin. How you
What
doing?
the fuck? What are you comparing me to?
That was some Sesame Street thing, I think, back in the day.
I'm going
right?
through the cupboards of your home.
It was a
little
little-
Like the Indian in the cupboard.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And well, as you can hear, we're joined by a couple of friends who are experts in the celeb reality genre. We're joined by Rye and Sweet Jenny. Come on down and take a seat.
Thank you. Thank you for
Hi,
having
thanks
us.
for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Such an honor
Yeah,
to be on
well-
the Rock of Love bus with you.
Yeah. I mean,
This is really a dream come true.
Really get a big whiff of
yeah.
hasn't been clean since 2010.
Smells like baby love soft and adult diapers.
Very possible.
Yeah. The one thing I noticed in this episode above everything else is they were drinking an awful lot of Corona.
Well,
Really?
let's give a
Yeah,
recap
that's
here.
interesting.
We're watching the inaugural episode of Rock of Love, season 1, episode 1. We could give some side facts here. I just want to keep things a little organized. We're watching the first episode ever of Rock of Love. Bret is on his Harley Davidson, driving along the coast in the beginning, the introductory shot, and he talks about how his daughters are the most important thing in the world to him. And that's why he continues to do a reality show.
Yeah,
trying to
Franklin, I actually wrote down a quote that resonated with me
Go ahead.
from the intro. So, this might not be verbatim,
Yeah,
but I did
sure.
my best.
No,
There are
no.
plenty of women you want to be friends with. There are a lot of women you want to sleep with. But when you find that one lady who you want to be friends with and want to sleep with, that's love.
Wow.
So that one took my breath away.
Well, I really liked how he put his hands up in the air like, woo! He was on his motorcycle. That was really cute. Yeah. It was just like a really cute little free-spirited moment on this PCH,
How old was he at this point? He had to have been in his mid 40s, right?
Yeah,
I think,
probably like 46.
yeah, he had to have been in his mid 40s there, which is why, if I may start a little bit here, I'm glad you brought the woo moment. I got to go back and look for that. He's definitely dressed in his most 2007
Yeah.
apparel.
He was that when he was pretending to be like Rose from Titanic on a motorcycle? Or was this a different shot?
That's a shot that happened.
That was another shot where he had
Oh
both
my
his
God.
arms out.
I guess I just listened to the words, He's a deep.
Well, I
prophetic
listened to
man.
the words too, Franklin. I actually have another quote.
Okay.
Just one more. This is also from the intro. He was looking for a woman who's able to respect that rock and roll is his number one bitch goddess. So I thought that was
is
cool, and that kind of reminded me of me and my man. But with me and my man, his number one bitch goddess is Call of Duty.
Yeah. guys
What's
love
the
that.
difference, though? In a lot of ways, here's an interesting fact I just learned about Bret Michaels. His full name is Bret Michael Sychak, and he says that his parents originally intended to give him the middle name Maverick, but I guess somehow they fell through.
So,
John McCain would have been honored.
aw, may he rip. An interesting thing about Bret Michaels is that every single person that has ever encountered him has said that he's the friendliest guy ever, like the nicest celebrity.
Mhm.
My friend worked at OK Magazine and had the honor of meeting Bret Michaels.
Whoa!
And she said she was having a horrible day and he was so kind to her that it turned her whole day upside down. So as much as he's horrible in this show and
Sure.
just his music kind of blows and whatever.
Hmm.
I mean subjectively. So, Unskinny Bop is
What a jam!
Stop
Top
being
I've
such
three.
a thorn. Steve.
Yeah.
It's the stupidest name for a song I've ever heard in my life. But I guess he's just like an absolutely delight. Like just kind to
Ah.
his fans, just kind to journalists, kind to everything.
Sure, he goes on to be a pleasant guy, and he loves tweeting positive things to the veterans.
Does
Yeah.
something. Yeah,
Wow.
that's about all he does.
He
That's-
established a film production company with his good friend Charlie Sheen.
Oh,
Wow,
classy company.
What movies did they produce?
They produced a movie called A Letter from Death Row, in which Michael wrote, directed, and starred, and released the soundtrack album.
What?
He
Wait,
also,
he was on death row in the movie?
I guess so. Yeah, they also produced a movie called Free Money, starring Mira Sorvino and Marlon Brando.
Wow. That's
No
pretty
kidding.
interesting because one of the spin-off shows of Rock of Love was I Love Money.
Oh,
Right,
that's true.
right. Yeah, well.
Interesting.
So off the bat, we get 5 women are eliminated by Big John, his head advisor, his go-to head of security, I should say. So
That was pretty hurtful.
that's incredibly crass of VH1, really, the people in charge there, to basically just humiliate people for a gag.
I mean, he basically went out there and picked the 5 that he thought
We're
were
not attractive.
the
enough.
ugliest,
Yeah,
right?
the dumpiest, yeah.
No, it
Yeah.
was like, oh, what can be possibly an age-appropriate relationship? Okay, yeah. That's
Oh
not
yeah,
happening.
yeah. That
Yeah.
was very strange. Like
Because they weren't
all the-
necessarily. Yeah, I mean, they were just old. Nobody was there was unattractive at all.
yeah. That
So-
wasn't very nice of me to say dumpy.
No.
I meant in
mean,
John's
look,
eyes. In John's
No-
eyes. That's what he
no, it was just fucked up. What happened?
In the patriarchy's eyes.
the
right?
patriarchy, Big John. Yes, Big John.
Yes.
Big John. Big John, but he let one of them back, and the one he let back was the one who ended up dropping the N-bomb. So his judge of character is terrible. This is a man you cannot trust. The one person he invites back just drops an N-bomb later. We'll get into that more later, I feel like, but wow, poor judge of character off the bat for Big John. This is not good.
On the other hand, maybe Big John understood that you needed a little bit of a live wire up in there, because a lot of those gals were just cold fish, brother.
Needed to set a little spark, huh?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, Tiffany was horrible, but she did give us a very iconic catchphrase that I still hear people say all the time. So,
Yes.
like, she gave that to the world. And she also, you have to, like, really admire her gumption of
Yes.
showing up and, like, just knocking on the door relentlessly. And all those girls, like, accused her of, performing a sexual act on Big John to get back in. But she didn't do that. She just, like, talked him into it somehow with her slurry words and
just a mass, just a pro at negotiation skills.
Yeah.
She
She
brought-
was persistent.
she made a hat, she made a hat or something for him.
that was her selling point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I did make a hat. I came all the way here from Chicago. I made a hat. She
that's a
mentioned the
pretty
hat
baller
twice.
move.
Yeah.
We never got to see that hat.
When she gets in, she's like, "Oh, they've all been drinking. I got to catch up." But I thought she seemed already drunker than all of them by the time she came in the front door.
Yeah, she was on something. She had like a few Atavans in her or something. I don't know what's going on.
He very much, reminded me of like Jerry Falwell.
Mhm.
Uh,
Cuck?
Ginger Spice.
Oh,
Oh.
yes.
Ginger Spice, but like on drugs.
Yes, there was definitely a Ginger Spice vibe to her,
Yeah,
for sure.
I think
For
it was
sure.
the two-toned hair.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah. Good call.
Like the
Sweet Pea.
red two-toned hair. Yeah.
No, and I
that was-
also felt like we had a Baby Spice in there too.
Right.
I actually pulled up all of the girls, so I have it in front of me, and it was Jessica S, who reminded me of Baby Spice on drugs.
So Wow, so you
It's
pulled
just
up
her face.
you pulled up all the girls there. What kind of you got a Rock of Love Wikipedia going?
I do. I'm at the Rock of Love fandom.
Oh, okay.
rockoflove.fandom.com, and you can
Nice.
see all of the contestants on one page.
Yes. Yeah. It's got to be tough to be that member of NSYNC who didn't make the cut. That member of the Spice Girls who may have been like eliminated like before they really put them out there. And then to be one of the 4 women of Rock of Love, one of the original 25, but you're one of the 4 who got sent home in the
Yeah.
first 5 minutes. That's a bummer. That is. I mean, look, I tried out for I Love New York season 2. I didn't make it. I did not.
That was
make
one
it.
of the first things I ever learned about you.
Yeah, and that was a big plan of my life at that time. I thought, okay, I'll be on this show. From there, I can do like convention circuits and like clubs and stuff.
You
And
can make a lot of money doing
and
that.
I thought, okay, well, that'll sustain me for good amount of time. But it didn't work out. So it's so my heart really goes out to them specifically. It's not easy. So that celebrity.
Yeah. So, what girls do you guys feel like really stood out in this episode? Obviously, we know Tiffany was at the top there.
Definitely.
With she was a bit of a train wreck. But who else stood out to you?
So I mean, well, Heather on the Tubi version, you see a bare chest. She showed a breast.
Yeah.
So I had a moment when it came to Heather, kind of like a bit of an existential crisis, if you will.
I think I know what it is.
You might. So when I first watched, well, first of all, let me say that one of the girls referred to Heather as a 32-year-old whore.
Yes, when I heard that, like
When I first watched this, I thought Heather was old as fuck.
That was the same thing. I'm like, wow, look at that fossil they dragged in.
Heather in this recording, Heather is younger than me.
Yeah.
She's younger than all of us.
She's younger than all of us.
By a lot.
Oh no.
We
So
recently
that kind of freaks me out.
That's
But I
a
do
bummer,
kind of
right?
feel like
Yeah.
she does look older than 32. I think it's all the
You think?
tanning.
Yeah, the tanning. I mean, you got to keep that bronze. Yeah, like that was, and like they did the same in the real world with Robin during the challenges. She's like, she's 26. She's old as fuck. Like,
To be fair, though,
she's
she
not up
looked-
to the challenge.
she looked a lot older than her age, Robin.
Yes. Yeah.
Because
I mean,
I think it's the way she like pulled her hair back really
she
tightly.
pulled her hair back tightly,
And she
had
did
a
have that
old
dark
voice.
tan and kind of like angry, drunk face a lot. So like,
True.
yeah.
But she had an
And
old voice.
yeah. Well, okay. So the thing about Heather Chadwell, I think that she's a freaking genius because I read this interview with her and she purposely, so like starting with that picture with the double horns over her boobs, like she
Mhm.
was trying to bring Brett back to his like, 80s heyday.
Yeah.
Like rocker chick. So like every day that she did her hair, she tried to make her hair crazier and crazier and more like
Oh,
80s rocker
shit.
chick, so she would appeal
Yeah.
to Brett's like nostalgia for that era.
That is insane. That is
That's
Yeah.
crazy because I always like assumed that she was just like, why is she stuck in the 80s? You know,
Yeah, she did that on
No.
purpose. It was
I
like,
didn't
it was a
realize that she was
strategic move.
smart enough to be like manipulating him
Totally.
on like
Totally.
4D chess.
subconscious level.
Yeah.
4D chess. They're playing checkers in that house.
Hell
Wow.
yeah.
I grew, like, when I rewatched this series, I grew to like her. I didn't like her, as a youngling watching this, but now I'm watching like,
No, she was too old.
I can't relate to that. This is a fossil, man. Get her out of here, Brett. Get her out of here, man. Jesus Christ. But now I think like she's pretty cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's pretty cool. It doesn't seem like she voted for Trump. We could do a whole other thing next time.
Yeah,
Who
I don't
voted
think
for
she
Trump
would
here?
have.
Yeah.
She's pretty smart.
Neither did Lacey. Lacey
I know
is
Lacey definitely. Yeah,
Lacey's
Definitely not Samantha either, right?
I hope not.
Can we
Which
talk
one?
about Samantha for a second?
Oh
Do you
yeah,
remember Samantha?
Yeah. The MySpace cool girl.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought she was cool. She was very honest. At one point, she said that she was very intimidated by Heather. And I appreciated her honesty and her vulnerability in
Sure.
that moment.
Yeah, she also
Yeah,
didn't drink,
that's not
which is
easy.
like crazy to be on that show and not drink.
Oh my god! Now they had a fridge full of Monster as well. In case anybody, so if anything can be more 2007, a fridge full of Monster, just to bring out the absolute worst in everybody.
Do you think they had any water besides the
God.
gross LA tap water?
No, there were drinking
Jacuzzi.
some tap waters there. I think at one point you see Jess drinking a bottled water.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so
I think Big
health-
John's just saying we don't do water there, my brother.
All right, so another girl that, made sure that she wouldn't be forgotten that stood out to me was Brandy C.
Sure, major standout.
Yeah.
Huge
I loved
star.
her sexy baby voice.
Yeah, she invented the very sexy baby archetype that was later used in 30 Rock.
30 Rock,
of course.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Was that the Alyssa Milano episode, or who played the sexy baby?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
Someone else.
Okay, it's Alyssa Milano adjacent.
Melissa McCarthy.
Sure. Uncle Howard, what stood out to you about this?
Well, I think I thought one of the most disrespectful displays I've ever seen was when that girl, she played the drums. He said, "No one touch my guitars," or Big John. Yeah, but then she said, "Okay, well, I'll touch the drums." Well, where I come from, that's that's like Trump level maneuvering about the rules, and I found it just tasteless.
Yeah, Lacey, she is so annoying because she's not okay. She's in the music industry and she's a musician and blah blah blah, but she's like just not very good at anything she does. I don't know if you guys were aware of it, but she was one of the singers for Lords of Acid, and she was the most hated member of Lords of Acid, and they've had a lot of members.
Wow.
Like they've had probably 50 plus members, and hands down, Lacey's the most reviled member of them.
Wow.
There's something about her face that looks very demonic to me, but low budget demonic. So kind of like a character from Buffy.
Yeah, like
Like a bad girl.
Vampire Slayers. Yeah, just like her brow is too heavy or something.
I did.
Yeah, there's something about her that just doesn't sit with me right.
Well, let's
She's a
not
really
condemn-
good villain.
Yeah, she's a good villain. Let's not condemn too much the 2007 style choices.
Yeah.
That's true. And eyebrows were cool back then.
Yeah, and again, I don't disagree with that notion though. But they needed a villain, and again, you're seeing Heather was smart enough, like you brought up, to manipulate Brett. Lacey was smart enough to perhaps manipulate the producers, being like, "There's a void that needs to be filled, and you need somebody to play a villain here," and that's what she did well throughout the season.
I know we're talking about season 1, but do you guys remember when she came back in season 2 and it was like a roller derby challenge?
Yeah,
and she was like she was like a derby girl, and she just tackled all of them. So yeah, I have mad respect for Lacey.
Oh
despite
yeah,
her being a terrible.
Well, good heart though. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah, she's a vegan and she definitely didn't vote for Trump. So
there you go. So that clears the low bar of the Rock of Love.
And
house.
she rescues dogs.
They're all true. So no, she's aces then, everybody.
All right. Well, we have to talk about
Rodeo.
Rodeo
Yeah.
Drive.
she's another one who really stood out. And speaking of people who voted, we know that she voted for Trump because she was very
Possibly
vocal
twice.
about it.
Possibly
Sweet Jenny
twice.
sent us all a link to her Instagram, and she's a proud Trump supporter.
She's
She
also she will decorate your house for Christmas, so don't worry if you don't have the time.
Oh, that's
Rodeo will come by.
wonderful.
Yeah.
She also has inspirational quotes attributed to herself with bizarre pictures of herself wearing that damn cowboy hat. And the one that she uses repeatedly is "smile," which is in quotes itself. "It's a new day." And then it's signed Cindy Rodeo, also in quotes.
Now, one of the things that Brett liked so much about her was that she was wearing a cowboy hat, and he said, "There's nothing sexier than a woman in a cowboy hat." Is that an expression anybody's familiar with?
I've never heard it, but I
I've
don't
never heard it.
disagree.
I don't entirely disagree, but I just it was a good insight into Brett's mind, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
we
you
had a
know,
lot of insight to his mind.
I wonder if she's wearing that same cowboy hat in all these pictures. Like how long? Because it's like the same
that's a good
cowboy
point.
hat in every single picture. I didn't think to look at the cowboy hat in the
And she-
first episode.
And she got it from Gator 97.5 radio in a contest in 2005. So if it's the same one, you're
Oh.
talking 15 years.
Damn, that's
Wow.
right. That's right. She won Brett Michaels' hat. Oh my god,
Well, yeah, I think
That's
she got it from a local radio station, but
that's a deep cut.
possibly. So rodeo, just kind of a bummer. We saw that photo that Sweet Jenny sent us. For those that don't know, it should be all of you who don't know. She tagged like 20 people associated with Trump, like Ivanka, Melania, just all on Instagram. You tap that photo once and 20 tags just show up,
Yeah.
like the fucking Avengers Endgame portals. They're just all the worst human beings just showing up on your left.
And it's a bizarre picture because it's like a screenshot of her. God, it's like a screenshot of her Facebook profile, like creating a post that's already set to like private, so only she can see, and then it's written over with a mark, iPhone marker. I did not do this, but like it's all cut off at the bottom because Instagram cuts it off.
Yeah.
And she posts this on Instagram, which is owned by Facebook, and she says, "Okay, looks like evil Facebook." Actually, wait, she doesn't talk in a Minnesota accent. She's like, "Okay, looks like evil Facebook is up to battle because God has my back, and this is so evil with full of hate. Unbelievable!" Cry laugh emoji. Completely unbelievable. Cry laugh emoji. And like, what a dumbass.
Yeah, and then she says, Twitter is blocking people on my personal account. And then it shows that she blocked Eric Trump and Don Jr. And then she just put a little tag in the corner and says, I've refollowed #Trump. So don't worry.
She blocked
everybody.
Eric Trump
But yeah, well, but she says she didn't. But I bet she just
because she
got real mad
tagged
at
him in the post that Sweet Jenny was talking about.
Well,
She tagged
was an
Team
Instagram,
Trump.
though.
She tagged Eric Trump. She tagged Black Voices for Trump. She tagged Women for Trump. She tagged Latinos for Trump 20. She tagged Donald J. Trump Jr., Tiffany Trump, White House, FLOTUS, Ivanka, as you said, and Students for Trump.
So
that's
I'm
all
looking
the
at
demographics.
I'm looking at her Twitter, and she's pointing to the Only Me lock on Facebook. So she claims she didn't put the Only Me. So Facebook. So her theory is Facebook is trying to stop her by not having her post be public, because she definitely accidentally clicked on the Only Me setting for viewership.
We can see that.
Like, yeah. I'll
That's
put the
what
photo
happened
on
here.
Patreon, yeah.
That's what happened here. It was she said it to only me.
And like, accidentally said, "Look, they're trying to silence me." Like, no, ma'am, you could change that. I don't think Facebook's job is to try to silence you with the most minor of inconveniences. That they give you a warning when you do post on Only Me. There shows a warning saying, "Would you like to expand your audience?" So, like, this theory is bunk. Like, I mean, surprise, surprise. Surprise,
Well,
surprise. She's
She's
not.
on Parlor
Right.
now, so you can find her over there.
Oh, is that the
Oh,
conservative
boy.
thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
And it
wow.
says that she's an ambassador shining rainbow autism.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, we could
It's in
really
her
do it.
bio.
If you watch the reunion, they show like she claims she works with Beyonce's trainer. She has a lot of, I really think this is a pathological liar to some extent here. She talked about how she was paralyzed for a few years and couldn't walk.
Oh, yeah,
Then
because she
said
broke her foot.
She said she broke her feet.
That's not
She
being
broke her
paralyzed.
feet,
She
and
just-
that made her paraplegic. That's not how it works.
I broke-
She couldn't
Paraplegic
walk.
has damage to the spine.
Yeah, but
Well-
Is that
in
not
the
correct?
end, neither of them were walking, paraplegic or a gal with a
There you
broken foot.
Again, we have a 4D chess maneuver by Uncle
Yeah.
Howard here. Him and Heather. Chadwell.
So speaking of feet, did you guys notice when
Yes.
Tiffany was up on the on the
I
pole
noticed.
how filthy her feet were?
Oh, no. No, I didn't notice that.
Well, yeah, there's
Notice-
like a lot of feet things because like Brett said something
Mhm.
like "I like your feet" to that.
He did say that
Yeah.
to Tawny, I think it was, or
Connie
I
or
don't know.
Tamara, I can't remember.
Tamara, yeah, where he's just like, "You got sexy feet," and she's just like, "Thanks." Like,
I want to know what Uncle Howard has to say about this.
Oh, you
That's-
know
Oh, that's
about
true.
those lovely feet. I thought
Oh,
I
boy.
thought they were fantastic, brother. But I'll tell you one thing is they were all saying, "Oh, no one wants to see her dancing around on the pole," and I thought she was doing a perfectly decent job, especially considering how drunk she was. And one girl was
That's a
doing it
good
right
point.
before her, and they're like, "That's amazing." And then she got up there and started doing it. And she was doing the exact same routine, and they're like, "You're trash. Get out of here."
I know.
That's true. She did a really good
Great.
job for being that drunk, but
Okay.
she did slowly slide down the pole and like plant her face into the ground.
Yes, yes.
I thought that was part of the goal, though. I thought she
Okay. Okay, so she did do a good job for being drunk. That I will concede on. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Heather was actually completely graceful on the pole. So like it really with the back arch. I mean, it was fantastic.
Heather was very professional.
Yes, that's a pro. I
Yeah.
mean, she's been doing it for 100 years. I mean, she's 32.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. Okay, but before we wrap things up here, Uncle Howard, if you do have to take off, I don't want to hold you
Oh,
back. Here, everybody.
I got a couple more minutes here. But
Okay, well, I have
fantastic.
a question for everybody
Yeah.
before we end. Is I'm wondering if you were Bret Michaels in this episode, who would be standing out to you the most, or who
Wow.
is standing out to you the most? Who would you want to take out on a date
Jeez Louise.
after watching this episode? I'd like to know everybody's opinion.
Wow.
Okay, well, I think, I mean, Jess seems the most reasonable at from what we see in an hour of TV of heavy editing. Jess seems the most reasonable. There's probably another woman named Faith who almost seems like it was just edited onto the show. I don't remember her at all.
I don't
so
remember
she
her
might-
either.
Yeah,
I'm looking
Arnie?
at the screenshots, and there's nobody named Faith.
I think there was somebody named Faith.
Faith
Sweet Jenny seems to-
Rohrer.
Well, regardless.
She looked like
Yeah.
Liv
Oh, there she
Tyler.
is. Oh, there
Yes.
she is. Oh, she's fine. Okay, yeah.
so
She didn't talk much, but she was probably the prettiest girl there.
Sure, and the very little they showed, she seemed pretty reasonable. So based off just that, I guess you kind of have to go with Jess. And I mean, and Jess was, I believe, 22 during this, right? Or
She seems young. She has
Seems
a
young,
definitely.
young
Yes.
vibe.
She is like a pink razor phone personified.
Yeah.
yes. So that, I guess, like, yeah, that's who, like, okay, this is somebody pretty reasonable, or possibly, I don't know. Oh, well, I mean, now that I'm wiser though, Heather is just pretty cool. Heather is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what, Jess, reasonable. That's all great. I'm not looking to to learn things. I'm looking to party. I'm a fossil myself.
Don't try
I'm
to
looking-
force you to have a good time.
Yeah, don't threaten me with a good time here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Uncle Howard, what about you?
You know what? I gotta say, I love the red. I love the white. I love the blue. I love nothing more than what's sexier than a woman in a cowboy hat? Rodeo.
All right. Sweet Ginny.
I would also pick rodeo because I think it would be like a really
Christ.
amazing test to see how long I could just like look at her without laughing. Because like the thing that made me laugh the hardest in that episode, and this is so terrible, but like when Bret was talking about his juvenile diabetes and Rodeo was looking at him so
So sincere.
earnestly
Yeah.
Well,
with tears in her eyes.
She's an earnest dum dum, and we could all do worse than that.
She's so stupid. And like
yeah.
her like raucous laughter too. Like could you imagine just like being out with her and she's like like I couldn't deal. So it would be like a really fun test. I think she'd be highly entertaining. We definitely disagree on politics, but God bless her.
You know what I got from that was
she's got passion.
she wanted to be told she was an inspiration because she kept giving all these stories and all these
Yes.
her tweeted
That's a-
paralysis. So
That's
she
a
was
really good
so she was-
really good observation.
so she was projecting the same kind of emotion she wanted from him. It's like, so him talking about childhood diabetes, she's like, wow, that's amazing, that is inspirational what you've done. Like he was doing what he had to live. I mean, I'm not knocking it. It's definitely a tough fucking
No.
thing to
Yeah,
go through.
he
I mean,
was
that's
also
fucking rough.
born with it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and
So
then her bringing up her
Hermit.
paraplegic story. Like, what the hell?
I mean, so if I sprain my ankle and I can't walk for that day by rodeo's logic, I am paraplegic for those 24 hours. It's
but
terrible.
she sprained both her ankles.
Oh, that's true. That's true. She can't even hop. Yeah. I take it back.
She was in a wheelchair.
So Rye, I guess you got to answer your own question now.
All right. Yeah, for me, I'd say it was probably Samantha.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
She wasn't featured
think-
as heavily in this one though, but she definitely seemed cool.
Yeah, she seemed cool. She seemed smart. She's cute. So I was into Samantha, but I also have to agree with you, Franklin, and Heather is pretty cool.
Heather's fucking cool.
And like now that I'm watching it as somebody in their 30s, I'm finding myself a lot more drawn to Heather.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Heather is a pretty smart lady, and before she was on Rock of Love, and definitely after, she was like a top line stripper in Vegas, which
Wow.
people look
That's
down
easy
on
to
that,
do.
but that's a pretty that's a pretty good standing to have. Like I think she was like a dancer,
I
like
agree. I don't think that's something you should look down on.
I think she was like a feature dancer at the Spearmint Rhino.
That's not easy.
You
That's
can
not-
make like big, major bank there. Same with from season 2, A-Bomb, Ashley.
A-Bomb.
Do you remember her?
I remember Destiny. Who was Ashley?
Oh my God, the two blonde girls, Farrah and Ashley.
Oh, right. Oh, that was season 3. The blonde
that was season
entourage.
3,
Sorry.
the
No,
blonde
yeah.
Oh,
Ashley,
shit.
I remember Ashley. Yes. She had the boyfriend who was not a very good person from the words he
Yes.
said.
That's
Uh,
right.
Not a
Gosh,
good man.
It all blurs together for me.
Yeah, no, season
yeah.
3, they were over Brett. They were just like,
Yeah.
fuck you,
He
old
just went
man.
to party.
Yeah, like it was nobody liked them. Poor guy.
But Heather Chadwell, and now I was like looking at it. Where are they now? And she's a realtor, so good for her.
Yeah. So
Still
I guess,
hustling.
yeah, nothing but love.
Love
for
it.
Heather. Yeah. Gosh, I don't know if we should make this could be a real thing. Everybody, this could be a Rock of Love podcast we air, and I think we have something here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm having a
legitimately.
great time visiting the bus. I'd be
Yeah,
happy
yeah.
to come back another
Getting
time.
the sights and smells of the Rock of Love bus.
Mhm.
Get some
I mean,
whiffs.
Sweet Ginny did mention that it smells like adult diapers
And loves Baby Soft.
and loves baby sauce. I would say it smells like adult diapers full of condoms.
Ooh.
Yes. And a little hint of Monster Energy.
Mhm.
Yes. That
All right.
sweet smell.
All right. Well, you've been listening to Unks of Love, I suppose. Thank you for subscribing to our Patreon.